brought someone with you on one of your trips to Dallas that you introduced me to, and he was one of your students. And I was kind of amazed because he was just kind of a blue-collar worker. He was just a common guy, and yet you were teaching him how to prepare himself for a life like you have, getting passive income.
Exactly, and you know, I like to practice what I preach, obviously, and it does attract a certain demographic of people that say, you know, that's what I want. I want Mike to teach me how to get what he's managed to create in his life. And so Jocelyn, who happens to, he's from Montreal, Canada, he actually started off as somebody who was very skeptical of me because he'd never heard of me, and I had sent out an email to my list, and one of his friends was on my list, and it was inviting people to a conference in Banff, which is in the mountains in Canada. It's just a beautiful spot. It was a retreat, and we were going to have a little workshop that weekend. And if I remember correctly, I was charging $1,500 for it. And so he phoned me up, and he basically said, well, I'd love to go to Banff. I don't really care about you. I just need an excuse to go there. And so I'd be willing to pay $500 because that's what other people in the industry, they charge for these little workshops. And I go, well, the biggest difference is their workshops are meant to upsell you to something expensive. They're not going to give you a lot of value in that weekend. They're going to get you there, and then you're going to buy something else that's maybe $30,000 or $15,000 or whatever it is. And I said, my workshop, you're actually going to do work. You're actually going to leave there with certain skill sets, and at the end of the day, you're going to be able to actually do something and monetize the stuff that you learned. And so he started, like I say, he started off very skeptical, and it's kind of ironic because he ended up, he happens to work for the airline, so he can fly for really cheap. So he actually flew to Calgary to meet with me to do lunch. He wanted to pick my brain before we even did this Banff thing. And he asked me a whole bunch of questions, and when he heard about my lifestyle and saw that I was genuine and real, he got really excited. And he started off from somebody being very skeptical to somebody who ended up coming on one of my tours, and I taught him how to do tax deeds in Houston, Texas. And then he ended up being one of my mentor students who actually comes with me on the road. He travels around and gets to see how I actually do my business, how I live, and meet some of the people that are important in my life, such as yourself. And so it's kind of ironic. He started off very, very skeptical, like I said, and he became one of my top students, and now he's just out there and just crushing it. So he's doing very well.
You can become a published author. Discover a system that will lead you from idea to having your book on the bookshelves. Bob Baer pulls back the curtain at the More Power to Publish workshop. Watch and learn how to follow the step-by-step plan to turn your idea into a published book. Learn more at morepowertopublish.com.